Sam Bankman-Fried is back to posting. In a Substack post this morning, the former FTX CEO denied stealing funds or stashing away billions of dollars. SBF also once again made claims that FTX has a path to solvency.
YAHOO Finance David Horvath joins the live show to discuss the latest on the FTX saga following the Sam Bankman-Fried revealing the blog post.
As of this morning, Bankman-Fried has a Substack, and the post, this first post that he's put out, it's the most detailed account we've had from the former crypto billionaire turned, facing federal charges now for fraud about his exchange's collapse in November. And the details of the post draw on Bankman-Fried's memory of FTX and Alameda's financials before he was booted from the company and access to that information was revoked. So it's based on memory. He's claimed that FTX US, the exchange or the U.S. subsidiary of the larger exchange, is fully solvent, and also argued that FTX experienced collateral damage from a liquidity crunch that was sort of similar to what happened to some of the other crypto lenders that went belly up earlier this year. Now, importantly, there's nothing in FTX's terms of service or terms of use that make mention of it being able to lend customer assets or act as a lender. Bankman-Fried also accused the law firm Sullivan and Cromwell of pressuring FTX into bankruptcy, and said that given more time, the company could have come up with the funds to have staved off bankruptcy. So this is pretty much just a more detailed account of what we've already heard him.
The FTX co-founder Sam Bankman-Fried denied the federal allegations that the misappropriated $8 billion in the customer assets months ahead for the federal courts on the fraud, money laundering, and the campaign's finance charges. Before we start the video, subscribe the channels, and sorry, I was forget to keep the cup on the table. So subscribe the channels and turning on the red notifications button. The CEO Sam Bankman-Fried repeated several claims that the bankruptcy officials and the federal regulators have denied are contradicted, including the FTX US remains the solvent and the collapse of his hedge funds Alameda Research was due to the broader market turbulence. The 30-year-old New York federal trials will begin in October. On January 12, reports on the stackback, Bankman-Fried claimed there was a path forward for customers of the certain companies under the FTX umbrella to be made whole following the firm's bankruptcy. According to the former CEO, Sam Bankman-Fried, FTX US has been fully solvent. At the time, the firm filed for the Chapter 11 bankruptcy with roughly $350 million on cash in hand. The Bankman-Fried added that FTX International had roughly $8 billion in the assets at the time January took over as a CEO, and the pledge to use nearly all of his personal assets in an effort to reimburse user. Following the FTX filing for bankruptcy, the former CEO claimed to have had only $100,000 in his bank account, and the rater lied on his appearance to pop up their home for bail as a part of his criminal case. In a Thursday morning Substack post, FTX co-founder Sam Bankman-Fried denied allegations that they stole billions of dollars in user funds and suggesting that the Binance CEO Changpeng Zhao CZ conducted a months-long effort to bring down the FTX. It is Bankman-Fried's first significant response to the federal allegations that they directed an $8 billion fraud that destroyed his $32 million crypto. Earlier this month, Bankman-Fried pleaded not guilty to 8 federal charges, including fraud and money laundering, and was released on a $250 million recognizing bond. His trial will begin in October. Bankman-Fried is the subject of the complaints from the Securities and Exchange Commissions and the Commodity Futures Trading Commissions as well. The Sam Bankman-Fried published an extensive Substack article on the Thursday. The article says that both FTX and Alameda were doing great in 2021. Further highlights the reasons for the collapse and his commitments to repay credit. Former crypto white knight Sam Bankman-Fried recently published an extensive Substack article on Thursday titled FTX Pre-Mortem Overview. He tried to explain what went wrong and highlighted the reason that caused the once third largest cryptocurrency exchange to file for bankruptcy. He claimed that Alameda and the FTX were doing very well in 2021 until the crypto winter begins in the 2022. FTX Internationals and the Alameda were both legitimately and independently profitable businesses in the 2021. Further explaining his point, Sam Bankman-Fried says that when Three Arrows Capital and the other firms collapsed in the springs of the 2022, the whole environment turned green, resulting in a depletion in assets value of almost every major token. Even Binance, Solana and others in the range were also affected badly. The federal prosecutors, regulators and the bankruptcy lawyers have already contradicted that the majority of claims made by Sam Bankman-Fried, alleging the FTX and Alameda were not legitimate businesses but acted as a tool for Sam Bankman-Fried to commit his heists. Bankman is yet to acknowledge the cooperations by the supposedly ex-girlfriend Caroline Ellison and the ex-CTO Gary Wang pleading guilty to the charges and could be working as witnesses in the case. There was no acknowledgement like the first, BlockFi, Genesis and the Three Arrow Capitals, the major victims of FTX followed by the Sam Bankman-Fried. Sam Bankman-Fried also pointed to a November 6, 2022 tweet that the CEO of the world's largest crypto exchange had conducted a months-long PR campaign against the FTX. The CEO, when asked, denied the claiming, saying, "The FTX killed themselves because they stole billions of the dollars." Many of his claims were ones he's made before, including the FTX US remained solvent, that Alameda's liquidity crisis was not due to the misconduct but because of broader market turbulence, and that FTX Internationals and Alameda were wholly legitimate, profitable businesses. That's it for today. If you haven't already, subscribe the channel and turning on the red notifications button. We shall meet with the next video. Till the next, see you next time.